Hi, I'm Tim, and I'm from Flemington Aluminum and Brass, or FAB, and I'm going to show you today how to install the FABCON bracket. This is our FABCON bracket right here. It's very simple and easy to install, and I'm going to walk you through it now. Before I walk you through the installation, I'd like to point out to you this brass piece here that's part of our FABCON bracket. I'd like you to note that it is a circle, but it has a flat part here that's going to be important for when you're installing it, as well as the groove in the casting. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the bracket, you're going to take it apart, you're going to take the brass and the aluminum swivel and remove them from the aluminum casting that goes to your mast arm. You're going to take the aluminum casting that goes into your mast arm and you're going to attach it to your mast arm with banding. The banding is not attached to the casting, the banding is separate, so we recommend you use 3/4 stainless steel bandit banding, and you're going to need the banding, a banding tool, and you're going to need a hammer. So this is the banding tool that we recommend. It's C0169 from Bandit, and it's very simple. And I won't show you that part today because I reckon that almost everyone that's ever put anything on a pole has banded something on. So I'm going to skip through that, but it's very simple to do, not attached to the casting in any way. You just tighten it with a banding tool, cut it, and then put the clamps on the pole. So once you have everything, or not everything, once you have just the aluminum portion here attached to the pole, you're going to note that on one side, and it doesn't matter if this is the top or this is the bottom, you can do it either way. On one side is just one set screw by itself. It's for a socket wrench. You're not going to touch that at all. That stays exactly like we give it to you. If it's falling out, you put it in and don't touch it. The other side has 3 set screws. You're going to make sure that they're not in the way of anything getting into the inside of this circle, and you are going to use those to install the bracket. Before you can put your signal up, you're going to have to attach it to our pole here. We have an upper arm that is 356 T6 aluminum, and it's just got a flat washer, and that's how it connects. The lower arm is 713 Tensaloy aluminum, and it has a cast-in nipple. This is a threaded nipple that is cast into the casting, so it's not going to come out no matter what you do to it. And then we make the set screw that goes onto it. This gets put onto the pole with the threads. You just screw it on and then tighten the set screws to put it exactly where you'd like it. Then you slide the rest. Remember how you took apart your FABCON bracket before? You took the brass and the aluminum swivel off of it. You're going to slide those onto the top and then tighten these 2 set screws just to keep it in place for now. You can move it around later. Then you slide your top arm on and you attach your signal. And just for ease of you being able to see what I'm doing, we don't have a signal on it right now, but this is set up for 3 12-inch signals. So once you have this all ready to go, you got your signal on there, everything is all good. You just take it right up to your bracket that's already mounted to the mast arm. You remember this flat part on the brass casting. You need to line that up with the screw that I told you not to touch. The one that has it's for a socket, it's rounded on the top. You line up the flat part with the screw that you're not supposed to touch, and you slide it in like so. Once you turn it, it can't come back out. The only way that this is coming back out of there is if you line the flat part up again with the screw and you pull it back out. So you put it in and you turn it, and now it's not going anywhere. The first thing you do after you put that in is, of the 3 set screws on the casting that you attach to the mast arm, you tighten down the middle one. The middle one slides into the same groove on the brass casting as this other guy that you weren't supposed to touch. So now you have 2 screws in the brass that are in the groove in the brass casting, and it can't because you have 2. If one of them gets to the flat part of the brass casting, the other one's going to hold it in. So it can't come out. Once I tighten that, it's not coming back out of the mast arm. It'll swivel all over the place, but it's not coming back out. So you swivel it around to find your desired angle, and then you tighten the other 2 set screws. There are 3 set screws, and you already put the middle one into the groove on the casting. Now you tighten these 2 so that it stops it from spinning. All you need to do that is a 5/16 wrench. You tighten that guy up. I like to hand tighten them first so it speeds it up. Tighten that up. And now it won't spin. It's stuck like it is, and if you want it to be any differently than it is, you just loosen them, spin it, and tighten it back down. Now, if you're worried about the pitch, you can change that on the brass casting itself. The brass casting has a slotted groove and a hole. You loosen the screw that's in the slotted groove. For that, you're going to want a 1/2-inch wrench. You loosen the screw that's in here. And now you can tilt up or down on your bracket so you get the desired angle for your signal. Once you've found your desired angle, let's say it's here, you tighten this back up, and it's not going anywhere. I understand there's been some over-tightening issues with some other brackets. You can tighten these two screws to your heart's desire. Don't use a power tool, use a wrench, but you won't be able to break them. Now, if you would like to turn your signal left to right, you can do that with the 2 set screws that you initially tightened down so that you could hold this in the middle. So you loosen these 2 set screws, and the whole tube will slide up and down and left to right. It gives you a lot of ability to modify, even if you didn't get this initial casting exactly where you had to have it on the mast arm. It was a little up, a little down, a little right, a little left. It gives you a lot of ability to move it around. Once you have those where you want it, you tighten this back up. And same thing, don't use a power tool, use the wrench. And then it's not going anywhere. My little mock mast arm is going to fall down before this thing does. And if you've put this up and you need to move it side to side on the pole, you're going to need to cut the banding and reband it. So if you've decided, I don't want this here, I want this a foot over there, the easiest thing to do is to take another one of these guys, band it over here, and then loosen these 3 screws, turn it, pull it out, and put it immediately in the next one. That'll be the easiest way for you to move it, and then you can remove this after that. I'm going to demonstrate for you our Tim Z mast arm bracket. This is a sign bracket for mast arms. It's designed for steel mast arms, and it's designed for mast arms that have a pitch to them so that you can have the sign bracket go along on the pitched mast arm, and the sign will go flat across. What's going to help it do that are the holes that you see drilled here, and you can move the casting on the Z-bar back and forth, so you can start it at the bottom and move all the way to the top, or vice versa. And that will keep your holes in the sign bracket level across while the mast arm is not level. We have this cut to 20 inches with bolts on 18-inch center to center, but we can cut the Z-bar to any length that you would like. And it holds up sign brackets on mast arms like so. I've already done the banding. You've all done banding before, I'm sure, so I don't need to show you how. You can see a video on Bandit's website that'll do a much better job than I will. So you take the banding and you wrap it around the grooves on our casting. It should be 3/4 inch stainless steel banding. And similar to our signal bracket, it is not connected to the casting, but instead loose. You wrap it around and go to a buckle. And you attach the casting with banding on both sides. The banding should be doubled so as to hold it on at the appropriate strength. And then you put the sign right on top of the sign bracket. You should have the screws that come with the bracket should go straight through the sign, through the bracket, and attach everything together. And you'll have, this is one that's banded on the mast arm, the next one will be down here, perhaps in 1 level holes higher, and then straight down until you finish all your sign brackets. That's it.